And I'm in love with the good life. Can't give it up. Make it to the top. Keep climbing. I wanna live it up. The good life. I'm coming up. I'm coming up. The good life. Good life. Oh, good life. Good life. Good life. Good life.
Boom, coming in hot, KG. How we doing, brother?
Doing good, man. You know, today's a 9-year anniversary for me and Jess. Rock on.
Let's go, dude. What are you guys doing for I can't believe first off she put up with you for 9 years. Second off, what are you guys doing tonight?
We're going out to dinner. We're gonna hang out, give her a present stuff. Good
Oh.
stuff, man. I'm excited.
Well, good for you guys, dude. Congrats, man. Congrats.
Proud,
You
man.
guys
Proud
dude,
feeling.
I was there. I was a groomsman in the wedding. I was
Yes, you
freaking
were.
front and center and saw when it started, and I feel like you guys are getting better with age, man. For real.
Man.
I just want to say I'm you know, I didn't plan on saying this, but I really admire your relationship, dude. You guys have a great friendship. Whenever I'm around you guys, I'm like, that's two great friends right there.
I appreciate that, man. I feel the same way
Yeah.
about you and Sarah. Now you guys are getting engaged. Within a week,
Thanks, dude.
we're gonna remember each other's anniversaries.
Yeah, we're getting hitched on Saturday.
I know.
Nothing like working the week you're getting locked down.
Yeah.
But Sarah's the most organized human alive, and she's already locked down. She's been working her butt off for like 3 weeks getting things ready.
She's locked in. I can see her in the background every couple days, just hammering nails and she's an animal. Hey, are you going on a honeymoon? I didn't ask you that.
You know what? We've been traveling so much these last couple months with the
That's
Yankees.
true.
Honestly, like literally, dude. I mean, and she wasn't flying with the team, so she was like literally jumping on a commercial flight like every 3 days. It was incredible.
Yeah.
I have a speaking engagement up in Stowe, Vermont at the end of January, so we might make that a little like
Stretch it
honeymoon
a
or
little.
something.
That's nice.
She likes to ski though, dude, and I'm like, what are you nuts? Like she was on the ski team in high school. I didn't even know they had one of those
Really?
things. Anyway, yeah, dude, I'm like snowplow, like, and I'm kind of like, I'm
Bunny
kind
Hill.
of like, and you know me, dude, I'm like, bring it on, let's go, let's run for the storm. But like, I also don't want to get hurt. Like,
I agree.
I'm at the age like, okay, I do things that are hard, but not things that I might get hurt with. Like, I feel like now being 6'3", you know, I'm 6'3",
Yeah.
49, 50 years old. If I fall, like, I'm gonna get hurt.
Mhm. And that's a lot of momentum, 6'3", going downhill like that. Dude, that reminds me of a crazy story. So when I was in high school, like I think it's junior, senior year, one of our good girlfriends, her dad had some like ski thing up in, not Vermont, like northern New York State. And my mother was always petrified of me going skiing and going on ski trips. We're like, Mom, it's just our friends. We're going for the weekend. It was like 10 of us, you know, packed in a bunch of Budweisers and stuff and getting a drive. And I'm like, Mom, don't worry about it. Everything's gonna be fine. She's like, fine. Now, this is before cell phones, okay?
Right.
And me and my friends, it's like 10 of us all packed into like this one little condo, and we're going skiing every, you know, both days. I get home and on like the Monday morning, my mom is like hysterically crying. I'm like, what does it matter? It just so happened she said, okay, you can go, just be careful. And I'm like, nobody gets hurt skiing. Dude, it was the weekend, the same weekend that Sonny Bono crashed into a tree and died in a skiing accident.
Dude.
And there was no cell phone, so it's not like I could text my mom, everything's fine, we're having a good time. And obviously, like, you don't pick up the phone and just call home when you're away with your friends before cell phones. She was terrified for 3 days. Finally, we got home and everything was fine, but crazy. I'll never forget that weekend. That was crazy.
Dude. Yeah, Sonny, I remember that was Sonny Bono. That's incredible, dude. And you can see it. Like, well, I'm usually on the Bunny Hill, so I don't really see trees, but I see people ripping down the freaking.
It's terrifying.
There are trees, and you're flying, dude.
Eric Byrnes' son, who's like, how old was he? 11, 12 years old?
His daughter.
Both of them, dude. They do like the Olympic like ski trials. It's crazy.
Yeah, they do like the flags. They're like hitting the flag like it's freaking like it's you know, wherever, Sweden or wherever they used to be, the Olympics.
They all look like
Sweden. They ski in Sweden.
The Byrnes look like Swedes. The whole family.
They do. They do.
They look like the Swiss Family Robinsons going down the slopes.
Dude, really quick. Did you see Burns' post?
Whoa, Dude, that was unbelievable.
Dude, so let me set the scene for our listeners out there. So Bernsey, obviously fan of the show, one of our good friends, freaking writes a post. I thought he was kidding.
I did too. And then
I thought it was that ridiculous. Yeah, like when you first read it, you're like, oh, did this happen?
Here comes.
He's like, no, he's like, I'm in this freaking Apple store in San Francisco, right? With Biscuit, with his son, and 3 to 4 masked men come in, start breaking the glass, stealing iPads, MacBooks, phones, Bernsey, who's a maniac, I'm surprised he didn't just start freaking throwing haymakers. He said he didn't know if they were armed or not.
Right.
He says he grabs Biscuit.
He's got his kid with him.
He's got his kid. He runs to the back of the Apple store, dude, while these people are robbing the store. He said there's one security guard just like, whatever, dude. He walks out. Bernsey said he runs to the back. There's employees going down the hallway. He's like, you guys are getting robbed. You guys are getting robbed. What are you doing? And then one of the employees turned and said, oh, we're getting robbed again? Like, kind of matter of fact, like, what the hell? So they're back there, dude. He said, Bernsey said he runs back to grab his iPad and phones that they went to the Apple store to, like, get upgraded or something. Dude, as he's grabbing that, he watched the people, they hop out. 2 minutes later, they're in a car driving 100 miles an hour down the road. He said it's like the 4th time that Apple store has been hit in San Francisco. It's like lawlessness there, dude. Like, where's the cops? And like, nobody gives a shit. Like,
crazy. Dude, it's like that in Manhattan, some places too. Manhattan is just that exact same stuff happens around here. I bet, because Byrnes does not mess around. And by the way, Byrnes is a lot smarter than he comes off to everybody. He's one of the smartest dudes I know. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a little bit into politics and helping politics. He said at the back end, he goes, this is the Bay Area. This is my home. How can I not go to an Apple store with my son and not feel safe? If you guys go to Byrnes' Instagram, he does it literally a word for word. I was terrified when I read that. Terrified when I read that last night.
Terrified. Absolutely terrified. And dude, the whole thing with, this whole defund the police back in the day, like, well, guess what? I don't know what's going on, but that's not good.
I'm with you.
That's not good. And dude, another thing I'm going to say is, being with the Yankees for those few months, obviously I was traveling to every major city again. So you're back in the city. There's a homeless epidemic happening, bro.
It's crazy.
I'm saying, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I didn't realize it until literally I went to every major city.
Oh yeah, you've seen every literally.
And so seeing it now in 2023, people talk about it. You're like, yeah, but you're living in suburbia, you're doing your thing, but then when you get into the cities, you're like, what is going on here? You know what I mean?
That state of events.
Like I was just out in Seattle, and took a walk down the, not the wrong road, but I kept going down this one road. Next thing I know, I felt like it was Mumbai.
It's crazy.
Like the slums of Mumbai. I was like, what is going on here? So anyway, I don't know, man. Something's got to happen in our cities or whatever's going on right now with, I feel like it's something's not right.
Something's not right. Thank God Byrnes and everybody else in that place are safe.
Yeah, I know, dude. Bernsey ended up being fine, but those people just came in and
you never forget that either. It's traumatizing. It's terrifying.
Traumatizing, dude. Biscuit must have been crapping his pants.
Must have been. Hey, speaking of traumatizing, I don't think much traumatizes Joel Sherman of the New York Post. But dude, him and your old boss got into it yesterday like I have never seen before. Cash versus Sherman. That is a heavyweight championship matchup of people who know how to talk to each other. So
obviously Cash ain't backing down to anybody, and Sherm ain't backing down to anybody. Sherman's Brooklyn comes out like, hey, I was a baller, on the side streets with Durant out in freaking Brooklyn growing up, That's what Sherman will tell you. But hey, I mean, they're both doing their job. Sherman's coming in to ask about player development, analytics, all that stuff, and Cash is doing his job, kind of defending the Yankee organization. At the end of the day, man, this is what happens when you lose in New York. You know what I mean? And dude, the thing about it is, being with that team, they were still 82-80. They got the best pitcher in the game. They got the best hitter in the game on the team. They're a couple pieces away from dominating, really. And they had a ton of injuries. You know, you lost Nestor Cortez for most of the year. You had guys that kind of had up and down years offensively. It was Rodon was gone most of the year and then didn't pitch well when he was in there. But Cole's going to win the Cy Young. If Judge played probably 15 more games, he's in the MVP talks again, even with Ohtani having the year he had. So, dude, this team is this organization. This team is in a lot better shape than people think. It's just because they're 82 and 80 didn't make the postseason. You know, bro, being a Yankees fan, Chinch, the expectations are so high. Rightfully so. That's why they're so good. So I understand how Cash is pushing back, saying, hey, listen, hold on a second here. We're not going to just blow this thing up because we had one losing season. You know, we weathered the storm. We're obviously going into 2024 still with the best player in baseball and the best pitcher in baseball. We're going to put together some of those pieces. They're going to go after Yamamoto, you know, who's, dude, this kid's an absolute stud.
Yeah, he
from
is.
Japan. I mean, this guy is a freaking has won 3 years in a row, won basically the Cy Young in Japan and all that. Just check his numbers out. He throws upper 90s, nasty split. They're going to go after him. I'd be shocked if they don't make maybe some run at Soto in a way, but they're going after Bellinger. They're going to get a lefty bat. You know, I hope Stanton comes back and has a better year because he still has a lot left in the tank. I think DJ LeMahieu is going to have a nice year. Anthony Volpe's second year coming in, he's only going to get better, you know, and he's just won a Gold Glove, went 2020. Austin Wells is going to be a really good player behind the dish. You got him. Dominguez will be back hopefully in June or July. That's a huge bat again. So you look at how Bryce Harper came back quicker than anybody from Tommy John surgery. You'd have to think that Dominguez is going to be back quicker than you think because he's not a pitcher.
Good point.
There's a lot of good pieces there in New York, dude. The Yankees are going to be just fine. But like you said, at the end of the day, Joel Sherman's got a job to do, and that's asked the tough questions. But Brian Cashman, you know, came back yesterday and was a little, you know, with a little bit of a pushback, rightfully so, because Cash believes in what they're doing. He believes in the organization. Aaron Boone's a great manager. They got a great staff there, top to bottom. I just think the Yankees are in good shape. They're in better shape than people think, dude. It was a down year in 2023. They weathered the storm, still had a winning record, which is huge. They'll be right in the thick of things in 2024. Mark my words.
Well said. And hey, guess what? If you're a Yankee right now and you're on your vacation and you're chilling, you see that your GM or president, whatever, what is he, senior vice executive, whatever the hell Cash is, you're sitting there going, that's my boss right there. That's my guy. He believes in us. Right. You love that as a player. You love it as a player. Dude. By the way, do you know that Sherman? There's like this old story. Sherman tried to fight George Steinbrenner once. I think he told me the story. Like he was trying to like get into some interview thing, and like Steinbrenner's like, "Don't let him in there," and he's like. Refused Steinbrenner, and like he like had to be held back and like pulled out of the room trying to get after George Steinbrenner, and you can believe it, dude. He's tough. Everybody, I had other reporters said that they all used to play at like the YMCA or something, like all the reporters, like the Daily News guys and the Post guys, and Sherman would get into like a fight in every single time they played basketball.
Sure, hey, Sherm's the guy that's taking you out you're going up for a layup in a nice Tuesday night game with your buddies, and Sherm's clipping your legs and taking you out on. What are we doing? What are we doing, Sherm? Like we're not in college. He's like, playing to win, baby. I'm from Brooklyn.
Yeah, and he'll tell you this, by the way. We're not back talking to him. He will tell you this to your face. No,
Sherm
will fight you, and he's good at basketball. He will tell you both of those things, and he has no problem.
No, but that's what's great is that we could say this because he would say it. Sherman would say it.
Exactly. All right. Oh my goodness. All right. That's crazy. We've gone down a whole different direction, but this is intense talk we got here. All right. Let's go back on the field a little bit. And you mentioned Cole. Let's focus on a Cy Young. First topic. People around here, obviously in New York, we're in Twitter world and all that crap. We're mad that Cole wasn't one of the top 3 finalists for MVP. What's your take on pitchers winning MVP?
I'm not big on it because here's the reason why. Not, obviously, you win with starting pitching, but you really win with 3 top guys, and then you piece your back end, your 4 and 5, and then a great bullpen. So at the end of the day, though, how you win in the long haul are guys that play 162. You got to have great starting pitching, but those guys impact 30 to 32 starts a year, right? 30 to 32 games. Okay. I'm not big on a pitcher being an MVP or getting MVP votes. I just really believe that's what the Cy Young's for. You're saying you're the best pitcher in baseball. I think with Ohtani now, the water's starting to get a little gray, a little muddy.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Okay, what are we doing now? We got the guy that might be the best pitcher and hitter. Is he going to win the MVP? And he's going to win a Cy Young at some point. I really believe that.
I agree.
And so, should there be the Hank Aaron Award now that says, that's the best hitter, and then the best pitcher's the Cy Young, and then there's the MVP award. I'm not sure, but I don't think a pitcher should be in MVP voting unless you're a guy like Shohei Ohtani. That being said, Chinch, getting a chance to watch Gerrit Cole this year was one of the biggest treats of my career. Literally one of the biggest treats of my career. Watching him prepare, it reminded me of Verlander. I got a chance to play with Verlander a couple of years and see how he prepared. And I know Verlander had such a big influence on Cole's career, especially when he went to Houston, especially on how to prepare for a game. Gerrit Cole, before his starts, would have his iPods in and or his earphones in, and he would be in his computer going down every guy he was going to face. It was incredible. And the great thing about Gerrit Cole, Chinch, if you know starting pitchers in the big leagues, a lot of times most guys will pitch to their strengths because that's what they're great at. So they're going to get beat. They're going to get beat with their strengths. It's very rare that you get a pitcher with the stuff that can not only pitch to his strengths when he needs it, but to the hitter's weaknesses, right? If I'm a good hit, and if I'm a good hitter middle away, I'm not all of a sudden become a good pull guy where I'm just looking middle in, right? I got to stick to my strengths. When I get a pitch there, I'm going to hammer that, right? Same thing as a pitcher. So the most incredible thing you would see with Gerrit Cole is, first off, he didn't waste one pitch out there, right? But you could watch him slice and dice guys so differently, and he would really work to guys' strengths. And one thing was great was we faced Verlander a few times, 3 times in the 2.5 months I was there. And you watch Verlander do that. He lives on the edges. He's going after guys' weaknesses, and then he goes after his strengths to put you away. You know what I mean? Just incredible the way he does it. And when I look at Gerrit Cole at this body of work, and he's going to win the Cy Young this year, I think no doubt about it, the way he attacked hitters was at another level. And that's what the elite pitchers do, man. It goes back to the conversation we had here on the mayor's office with Curt Schilling. If you haven't, seen that one, go back in the archives and check it out. How Schilling would talk about how he would prepare for guys, and he was rattling off my stats.
He knew exactly how to pitch you 20 years later.
Dude, it was incredible. It was incredible. And so you don't think he's got that memory for everybody. Gerrit Cole's that guy, and that's why the elite guys are the elite guys, because his 4-seam fastball up in the zone was the best pitch in baseball. He threw it 601 times for a 139 average against. Domination, bro. When he needed to put you away, it was a 4-seamer top rail. See ya, right? And that's what made him so good. Used the cutter a little bit more this year, but that 4-seam at the top of the zone, top of the rail, was the best pitch in baseball, right? So it was just fun to watch. I'm glad I got to see it firsthand. I was a fan of Gerrit when he was with the Pirates. I got to know him a little bit there, for all those years being in Pittsburgh. But then being in the same dugout with him, and dude, he would always come and talk to Brad Wilkerson and I, who were the hitting coaches, about what would you do here, what would you do here. He was always thinking about setting guys up. How would you pitch this guy? What do you think? How would he would come? How would I pitch you, and how would you attack me? And it was just great conversation. This guy is obsessed with pitching, and this is the first Cy Young of many for Gerrit Cole. I really believe that.
Great, I agree with that. The other thing, as a fan, you pay all that money to a guy, like Harold Reynolds always says it. He's like, You're not just the on-field guy if you're getting all that money. You are well, face of the franchise. And to be a Yankee fan and watch, he's a top stepper, right? Top stepper, dude. Your first game, I thought it was the coolest thing. He was on the other side of the dugout. Stanton hits that home run, and a person that sprinted over, and Gerrit Cole was like, that's you. And I'm like, wow, this guy is such a teammate. He's like, seems like he's like a teammate the way a position player seems to be a teammate. Am I correct there?
Pitch, that is so good. That is so good because yes, he is, dude. Gerrit Cole is like when Clark Schmidt was out there, dude. You think Cole was the pitching coach? He'd be yelling, "Stay with it, keep throwing it, stay there." And then, dude, he'd come off, and him and Schmidt would sit down. And I love the way you're attacking. And even in the clubhouse between starts, boom, he's sitting down with these guys. Rodon, come on, keep going. You encourage Rodon to start throwing the curveball more, the changeup. You can't just be slider, fastball. He was like another coach. I mean, that's a guy you want to pay. It's like Aaron Judge, how Judge would talk to guys about hitting. Well, that's why you give these guys big money, because they're the best players, but they're the best teammates too. Gerrit Cole, incredible teammate, and just the way he would communicate with a lot of that pitching staff. Like I said, that's why you give a guy like that big money, because you're not only paying for the player, but the person too.
Great job, man. That gave me chills thinking about how awesome that is. That's great. Yeah. Let's hop over to the National League quick, though, because Cole is a Cy Young in the American. Get out of my face with it. It's over. I don't care.
Right.
I like the other guys. But you got Gallen, Snell, Logan Webb. Snell, man. How about Snell's year? Because he has had ups and downs. I mean, obviously he has had the highest of highs. He's back, huh?
Wow, dude. It's a 2.25 ERA, bro. Yeah. I mean, he was dominant. 14-9, 180 innings pitched, 2.25 ERA. I think the biggest thing for him, if you go back and look at his body of work, was that curveball. Mm-hmm. Tom Verducci did something the other day with runners and I might botch the stat, but it was like with 2 strikes or runners in scoring position, it was like 3 for 90. Like something so stupid. You're like, it was almost an unhittable pitch, his curveball. It was just so nasty. So I really think that Snell is going to end up winning the Cy Young. I mean, obviously guys had some other good years too. Logan Webb, you look at Logan Webb and Zach Gallen, and this is when you think of, they're like the Marcus Simeons of pitchers. I believe they both had 34 starts, something like that. Their numbers are what they are because of the reliability to show up every day and pitch and take the ball and not get hurt and be on the bump every 5th day. So when you look at Gallen and Webb's numbers, a lot of their numbers, when you look at it, are really, really based on them getting 34 starts each. When you look at Gallen, 210 innings pitched, 3.47 ERA, and then obviously they're not based off the postseason, but had a great postseason too. Had a better first half than second half, but still had some great stuff. And Logan Webb had great stuff too for the Giants. You see him. He led Major League Baseball with 216 innings pitched during the regular season, while leading the league in walks per 9, only 1.3 strikeout to walk ratio.
Yeah, I'll give you one cool stat for each. First, we'll stay there. Webb, he had a 3.6% walk rate. It was the lowest in the NL. And he had a 62.7% ground ball rate, which was by far and away the biggest in the bigs. How about this for we forget about Gallen, 44 1/3 innings scoreless during the season. That's how you get to the playoffs. And here's this. How about this for Snell? You want to talk domination? This is a Pedro stat. Slash line, hitter slash line against Snell, 181, 293, 286. That's seriously, and his strikeout rate was 31.5%. That is that he had like a Pedro type season as far as like dominance over hitters. Crazy, man.
Dude, how many walks did he have this year? I'm interested in that. Walks to strikeouts, because
Snellzilla, you're talking about?
Yeah, Snellzilla. I think he still walks a decent amount. I want to tell you why.
Okay. You know what? That's interesting. 99 walks, and that has that bold black on it, meaning he led the league.
Okay, so listen to this. He was telling, can't remember who he was telling us on the network the other night. Who was I talking to? I think it might be Greg Amsinger.
Huh.
He told Greg that he doesn't mind walking guys anymore. Because what he found was he's like, I'm not throwing the 3-1 fastball down the middle. He goes, I got good enough stuff for the next guy to come up and get nasty on him. He goes, what I used to do was just kind of give in. He goes, I don't give in anymore. If I walk 2 guys in an inning, so be it. I'm going to punch somebody out, get up and throw that curveball. See you later. Thought it was an interesting take. You don't hear pitchers talking like that a lot. You hear them saying, oh, I got to fill up the zone more. No, dude. He's saying, I ain't giving in. You're going to see a 3-1 curveball. You're going to see a 3-1 changeup. You're not going to just see a 3-1 heater right down the middle. He goes, that's how I was getting beat. Because people, he said, I started to listen to people say, hey, man, you got to go right at guys. You're walking too many guys. He flipped the script and said, no, dude, I don't mind pitching with guys on base. I don't mind walking guys. I'm not giving in.
Yeah, I'm looking at a stat right now. Last year, he had 51 walks. This year, he had 99. Last year's ERA was 3.38, respectable. This year, 2.25. You call it. Nailed it.
Let that whole run down because he's like, I don't care. I don't care.
He has the stuff, and he has the stuff to get out of like a bases loaded jam if he has to. That's
exactly. He has strikeout stuff.
Not everybody. I get him this. That's how special.
But he has the stuff to get at. You're right, to make a pitch. So he could load the bases and still get out of it.
Yeah. Wow. Good nugget there. Gosh, Sean, you're on fire, man. You're on fire. Love it.
That's what happens when I'm at the network. I'll get all these Matt Baker and these guys are just pushing me. Dude. I'm like,
Matt Baker. Incredible. Yeah, for anybody who doesn't know who Matt Baker is one of the greatest researchers. In my opinion, he's the best researcher I've ever worked with. No disrespect to anybody else in the world, because when you turn and look at him in a control room, you know that scene in a Beautiful Mind where all the numbers are scraping and he's just looking out into space. That's what Matt Baker does. He just gets in the zone. He's got 975 tabs open on his when he opens the internet. He's got 975 of them open, and he somehow knows how to get to each one when you jabronis are out there trying to say something and you need stat. How many times in your ear and made you sound so much smarter than you are?
Dude, that's so true, dude. These guys, how they navigate.
They're all great. Oh, they're all great.
The web, it's incredible. They're incredible. Matt Baker's, obviously one of the best. All these guys make us all look so good, but it is incredible. Orso and all the guys, Nate and all these guys. There's so many good guys, researchers match. But when you see these guys, it's so true. You get asked them for a stat, and if you're next to them with the computer, how they navigate that computer is an art. It's incredible.
I'll give one quick story. When we first launched, and MLB Tonight was pretty much, it was like Greg, Harold, and Plesac most of the nights. Yeah. Matt Baker, like either Amsinger and Harold or Plesac and Harold would disagree on something, and they'd get into like a little bit of an argument. He would get in Plesac's ear and give him a stat to back up his argument. And then when Plesac starts talking, he would give Harold a stat to back up his argument against Plesac. So he was fighting himself and using the talent. It's great. It's good stuff.
So great. I love that, dude. I love that.
All right.
The best is those guys get in your ear with a stat. You throw it out there and everyone's like, hey, great. And I'm like, oh man, thanks for that stat. Thanks for that nugget.
Sean Casey was so smart on the air. He definitely studies. He's got all these stats every time. He's always backing things up with his stats. No, yeah. You are.
Dude, those guys are good, man. The guys in edit that do our breakdowns and the researchers. Come on, man. Like, hey, it takes a village to make good TV. It takes a village to be a good team in the big leagues. It's not just the players, not just the analysts.
I agree. All right.
Producers, executive producers, Chinch, you're one of the best in the business ever. The business has ever seen. So 33rd team, you freaking so lucky to have Chinch Amino. Okay, we know it.
Thanks, man. Oh, it's a nice start to my anniversary day. What do you got today? Oh,
I'm flying home, dude. Yeah, I got an early show. I'm about to do a show in an hour on the all MLB team nominees. And then I'm flying out at 3:00, I think, getting home. And then Sarah will probably running around the house, like cleaning up everything.
Your house is going to look like there's going to be like the entire wedding ready for you when you get home. You think?
Yeah, I'll do it. Well, her sister Ashley's coming
in there, going nuts. building a,
No,
are you
her
a
sister.
Parola? What do you call that thing? What is that thing called?
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. I know what you're saying. But dude, her sister Ashley's coming in today, and they're like 2 mules. Her and Ashley are like two. You put Ashley and Sarah in a room, you're like, oh my God. It's like stressful the way they work. They're like, seriously, just the house will be different in an hour.
All right, we'll get after that. All right, have fun, man. And
hey, dude.
Oh, what were we gonna
I was
say?
just say happy anniversary, bro. Have a great dinner tonight or whatever you guys do. Jess cooking, or she gonna cook some meat and not? Is she gonna cook some meat and not eat it and let you eat it?
Not tonight. I'm gonna take her somewhere she's gonna vegetarian.
Okay, good.
Nice. All right, bro. And Shahadi tomorrow, hopefully. Lauren Shahadi.
Oh yeah. Oh no, Shahadi's tomorrow. I talked to her. I just saw her. She's fired up. We're fired up. So Lauren Shahadi tomorrow. Tune in. One of the best in the business. All right, Chance, you love it, bro. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining in. We appreciate you guys listening. Hey, keep hitting the subscribe button and download, Chance. We got to start talking about that more.
Let's go.
We need that to happen. We just keep going on, but we need to subscribe, download, do your thing. Let's go. All right.
Tell your friends.
You guys. Yeah, tell your friends.